Welcome
to Film Shapes,
the podcast.
Det er alarmcentralen.
Jeg har kørt ud i cykel og slået mit knæ
Lige på
helt
det.
Morning, guys. This is Film Shapes again, and today we're joined by Leigh. How are you, Leigh?
Very good, thanks.
Good, good. And of course, Roly. How are you?
Good.
Good.
Yeah, not bad.
Okay. Today we're going to talk about The Guilty. This is a Danish real-time thriller directed by Gustav Moller, and it's set in a police emergency call centre. Yeah, fellas, what did you reckon about this, Roly?
Oh, me first?
Yeah, go on.
I loved it.
Did you?
Yeah, I did, actually. I like the fact that this film forces the viewer to create the film for themselves inside their head. And I think it's the type of film... Not many films do this, and a lot of filmmakers are maybe even afraid to do something like this. So I liked it on multiple levels. I thought it was really well handled.
Well, I guess we should explain what you mean by this. It's basically set in 2 rooms, would you say?
Yeah, you would see it as one space, but yeah, there is an interesting 2-room thing going on as well. I wanted to ask you a bit about that.
Okay. And outside of that, nothing. It's just phone calls coming in, right? So most of the other actors are just disembodied voices, aren't they?
Yeah. Sorry, did you say already what he does? I think you did.
He's
an emergency dispatch operator. Is that right?
Yes.
So he's taking the phone calls of people in distress
Yep.
and drunk and messing up
Yes.
in various ways.
Yeah, until one very serious call comes in. Yeah. Leigh, what did you reckon?
I enjoyed it. I had some reservations,
Okay.
which I'm sure will come out. But, gave me a few thrills.
Yeah.
And the audience also was noticeably surprised by
Oh,
the
yeah,
stuff
right.
that came out.
Yeah, some gasps.
Did you feel yourself tensing up
I did.
in this?
Yeah, sure. It got me. And that part of it was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, the nice little reveals and things.
Yeah. I don't want to put a blanket on this, but...
Here we go.
But I kind of... I don't want to be that kind of dick, but I
You're gonna
reckon
be that guy.
I'll have to be that dick. But I think I probably guessed what was going to happen to this scenario. I was thinking...
Yeah, okay, so you thought the reveals weren't enough of a surprise.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I can see that that's the way to do it. There's no other real way. You don't want to double, triple cross or anything like this. But I kind of thought, oh, well, actually, it's not going to be as we see it. I don't want to give too much away.
Yeah,
But,
no, I think that's fair enough.
Yeah.
But and I had some suspicions around that as well. I wasn't completely gobsmacked, surprised
yeah,
when those revelations came out, but I was still impressed, and I still felt the emotion around that, even if that emotion wasn't surprise, you know.
Yeah, sure. I'm not even sure if I cared much about the shall we call it? It's an abduction, right? Let's just leave that there. Somebody's been abducted. I'm not sure I cared so much about that. I wanted to find out what the deal was with his situation. Why was that was all left
that's
quite
the other
mysterious.
interesting thing, because there's actually 2 storylines.
Yeah.
You know, the idea of having this one-room event, it doesn't even just tackle the one storyline. There's a double thing going on, and that's used to bounce off and reveal certain things. And
But in other films of this ilk, when there's a kind of it's almost a hostage negotiation kind of thing.
So, okay, another film of this ilk, I'd like to know one. Because this is pretty unique to me. I've never seen a film like this.
Are you talking about like the real time thing, or more like the theme of it? Like,
The way that the one-room thing, or one, if you might call it two-room,
Well,
the way the
like-
minimalism works.
well, something like Buried.
Yes, I haven't seen that. What's that?
That's a guy in a coffin with a mobile phone. That's it, underground.
Yeah,
He's been buried, and it's a kind of terrorist kind of issue. Someone buried him, and he's trying to get out, and he's calling emergency services and things.
Was he lit only by the soft glow of his mobile phone screen?
Yeah. Yes,
Right,
I think
because
so.
if there was no mobile, it would have been a radio play.
Right. Yeah, well, that's the thing. This is almost a radio play, this movie, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. So that's a phone booth, I suppose. That's another example. The guy in the
I've heard of
phone
that,
booth.
yep.
Yeah. 12 Angry Men. They're all in one room. It's a great film.
Oh, yeah. But something like 12 Angry Men, I guess it does go outside, but a lot of the drama is about what's happening in that room.
It doesn't go outside.
No, in terms of they're talking about events that happen outside of the room.
Yeah.
But a lot of the actual drama takes place in the room between those people.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like a lot of the drama that takes place in this film is happening in a place that you're imagining.
Yeah.
And depending on your imagination, kind of depends how good the film is in a way.
I hear what you're saying.
I'm going to keep hammering it.
You're saying I'm a blank slate, aren't you?
It's a very important kind of factor.
Right, let me just write that down.
Which probably you and I doing this podcast thing
Shady, Roly
need to be aware
says
of.
Shady needs more imagination. Okay, got that. I've written that down.
That was kind of a backhanded insult, I know.
Yeah. No, what I'm just coming back to that. What I mean is something like, I don't know, there's a Samuel Jackson and Kevin Spacey negotiation movie. Maybe it's called The Negotiator. I'm not sure. But in that film, the whole thing is negotiating with this terrorist or whatever he is, criminal. And we don't really care about what the negotiator is, what's going on with him. In this case, I wanted to know, why is everybody sort of narky towards this guy, and what's the hint of the boss? All these little pieces of info fed back to him about something that's happened to him in the past, but he's up on disciplinary charges, right? So that was more interesting than the abduction part for me.
Okay, I thought the abduction part was just more, I don't know, I felt it more as a more visceral kind of emotional.
That was the visceral part. The other part, I agree, was the one that's where I was disappointed, was in his story.
Really? That's the opposite for me, Leigh.
Oh, right, because his redemption and...
Well, it's a tale, I suppose, isn't it? But I wanted to find out what he'd done, I suppose. Because I don't know, I thought the whole abduction thing, it's going to turn out, something's going to happen. But what's this guy done? That was my key.
It's going to turn out, something's going to happen.
And then he blabs the whole lot in a big, reveal. I did this and so on. That was disappointing.
That was his confession, though.
It was.
Essentially, it was his confession. He's got his court case the next day, and he kind of, without giving it away too much, that felt like it was a pretty important part. Just to talk about that other kind of imaginary stuff a bit more. I found myself sort of thinking of Steven Spielberg Jaws with this. The most, how he never showed the shark. He didn't want to show too much of the shark, and it's always the shark in your imagination that's the most scary thing. Yeah, and the stuff that goes down in the apartment and things, the most scary part and the most intense parts of this film is stuff you actually imagining. You're only just being told. You're imagining the guy going through this dark room, opening this door, discovering this scene, and that is the most intense part of that. And it kind of that's where I think there's a little bit of genius in this.
It
film.
was refreshing
That's
to
a bit,
me. Refreshing to get rid of all the nonsense that annoys me so much in movies.
And it's not just but we want to make a low budget film. Here's a good gimmick we can use. It's probably a gimmick, but it's really essential to what makes this film work as well.
You don't think he thought, we've got no money, what are we going to do?
Yeah, I think that might start, but I think this film, unlike other films that might do that, what a great way. I thought he embraced it much more. Yeah.
It would be interesting to see what the Americans do with this. They're going to remake it with Jake Gyllenhaal. No. So I wonder if it'll be shot for shot or if it'll be just blown up. No.
Well, as soon as they start adding any production, it's kind of going to destroy the idea, I think.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
It's not going to work in any other way. That's the whole point of it. But yeah. But I've got another theory as to why maybe you didn't like the film.
We go.
But I'm not going to... I'm going to pace the reveal. I don't want to talk about other stuff first.
Okay. All right. Go on.
No. What have you got?
What have I got? I was interested that this is this director's first feature film. Yeah. He's done a short, and I think he did some TV episodes, but first feature. And he co-wrote it as well. So he's got some sort of some technique behind him. But is this an easy one to start with? Is this like a calling card, do you reckon? Because it's basically so contained. What do you think, Leigh?
I think definitely. It was beautiful minimalism. Which for me is what I'm looking for. That's why I prefer radio plays. When I see a movie, I often close my eyes for most of the movie. That's not true. But the minimalism was just... But the lighting was great.
Yeah.
The sound was beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautifully done. Music, a couple of
Too
little...
much of it, to be honest.
I noticed one part... It was dun, 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 and another part, there was a soft roar. Otherwise...
Okay, soft roar.
No
Jeez.
sound.
Yeah, I missed those.
That was it. There was no soundtrack at all. Yes, thank you, director.
Yeah. I think in some ways it's an easy first film to make, but in some ways it all relies on your performer, doesn't it?
Yeah,
and how convincing he is.
Well, he's done a fair bit of stuff. I mean,
and he
mostly
seems
in
very
Denmark.
solid.
Yeah. Do you think the like how much would you need to go through with the voice actors on the phone? I mean, they were proper acting.
Well,
I mean, they're actors, but
They were proper acting.
They were proper actors, mate.
acting, yeah. I noticed on the IMDb thing,
Yeah.
the voice actors, I don't think even have a photo there. Like, they must be... That's their thing.
I'll just
They're just
voiceover.
voices.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? Okay.
But, yeah, I don't know. It all relies very heavily on that, though. So,
Yeah.
you know, if someone didn't pull their weight on that, but I guess then, you know...
He's a bad cop too. That's what another one of these. Like there is a maybe this is Leigh what you were talking about with disappointment. It's a bit like dirty cop, bad at his job, but there's a redemption tale involved.
A really nice guy, or was he a nice guy? I thought that bit didn't work. The nasty stuff he says to the people calling in, initially just smirking and just leave him wait a while. He's a mug. You know, he's even telling
That's his
the other
ego,
cop.
though, right?
That's the real him. That's what made him do what he did.
Yeah.
That he's in trouble with.
Yeah.
That didn't work for me, the bit that he's that was good. I got a few laughs. It was comedy.
Yeah, okay.
People were enjoying that. When he goes,
Yeah.
don't take drugs, hang up on them.
Just take a taxi if you've got a sore knee. Yeah.
Brutal.
Yeah, but I guess that painted him as a dickhead, and it's finally as he's redeemed himself at the end. It's kind
I
of
don't think he did at all. Would you believe that? He's so dominant with his poor partner. He was the dominant partner. The other guy was seemingly dominated by him. He was a bit of an arsehole, actually, and I don't think that he's...
Yeah, I was going to ask, is he a nice guy at the heart of it?
Not at all.
Not at all?
No.
No. I mean, he's bad at his job. He's unprofessional, rude to people, and he's done something quite bad, and that's why he's up on charges. And which he's going to go down for. At least has he redeemed himself? Maybe not, but he's owned up to it. I suppose that's what we get from it. And he's calling somebody at the end. Who's he calling?
Well, this is where
The partner.
this is my theory.
Yeah, probably.
I've got another theory
Oh,
about
fuck.
that.
Here we go. Fire it at me.
No, but it's going to take a little while to get there. First, we have to go back to the two rooms. What's the There must be a metaphor going on here.
I thought you were going to say the
with
two
the
Ronnies then.
Well, so he starts in one room
Yeah.
where he's generally being the dickhead, but that room is also a bit of a lie. You know, that's the room where he has to even try and play by the rules.
Because people are around. Yeah.
And then at a certain point, he goes into the other room, and that's where he can kind of be the real him.
Right. I did.
So there's a truth going on in that room, right?
Yeah.
And then this kind of nicer, you know, more upstanding citizen version does come out as well.
But
where
he
starts
trashes the room too. He smashes the shit up.
the
in
room.
Well, yeah, he's not nice to the room, but
He still cuts off
he's
a
not
caller.
nice to the blinds, and he's not nice to people that don't need emergency help, really. But he's kind of getting to the heart of how he's going to try and help this woman. You know, his inner kind of goodness maybe is coming out.
Or the child, maybe, because he promises the kid. I don't know if it's necessarily the woman, He probably feels a little bit let down by the woman, actually, but he's promised the girl.
He certainly does it.
He's a bit of a dirty Harry, isn't he, really? He's a maverick who likes to break the rules, to do it his way.
Yeah.
Remember, Dirty Harry goes up in the lift and just intimidates the guy until he jumps at him.
And, I thought
that's more his style.
Yeah.
I thought it was quite well handled in the first room where he first gets onto the idea that the woman is not just drunk and a bit of a prank call when she's like, hi, honey, hi, sweetie.
Right.
But it's that idea of because he's a cop.
Yeah.
Because he's been a cop before, unlike all these other guys that have just done the emergency dispatch call.
Oh, yes, okay.
He has this sixth sense that knows that this call's really important.
Yeah.
So just before he hangs up, he's like, hang on a second.
Yeah.
I thought that those sort of moments were really skillfully done.
But that shows his superiority sense as well.
Yeah, it does a lot of things.
I hadn't noticed the two rooms thing now, and I'm still not...
I'm not convinced I've got it exactly right, but I think there's definitely something there.
I get the feeling he... Yeah, you might be sniffing around there, but I think he just wanted to get privacy.
You don't know where I'm going yet.
Oh, shit, here we go. No, I think he just wanted to get away from the people who were watching him. He wanted privacy, so he thought, I'll go in here and I can do what I want in there.
Yeah, I guess, but I'm just looking for a bit more of a solid metaphor because it's a very obvious, minimal...
Nice to meet you, Mr. Metaphor.
Room.
I'm Mr. Literal.
And there's the whole show is one room,
except
for this other one where he can go in and close the blinds, and he's looking back across.
Yeah,
what's he actually looking back across? And I think what's interesting is when he goes back into the other room where he's lied before.
Yeah,
that's when at the end of the day he tells the truth.
Okay.
Yeah, and that sort of becomes his confession.
Oh Jesus.
Okay, and this is where...
Yep.
This is where, and I think maybe subconsciously you're picking up on this, which is why maybe you don't like the film
Tell me about my subconscious, Roly.
Because this is where he, after his confession, there's a bit of a Christian vibe going on here.
Oh.
And then at the end...
Redemption, I suppose,
At the end, he's walking towards that light door.
And he has his arms spread out.
Who's on the phone? Who's on the phone? God.
You're a tosser.
That's why you don't like this film.
You're a tosser.
Well, nice art leads itself to your own speculation.
I think there's a Christian vibe at the end of this film.
I don't think so. Yeah. I saw John Ford at the end of this film. Nothing to do with Christianity. I saw the Searchers, John Wayne standing in a doorway thinking, where am I going now? I'll step out, No, I don't know.
He would have been hungry.
Redemption.
He would have been very hungry after that episode, so he could have been calling for some takeout or something.
Yes, yeah.
It's possible.
I'm going with that one.
Yeah.
Okay, now I see.
Don't get me wrong, this is not the great...
It's not a Christian
Nick Cage
allegory.
In Left Behind, the worst film of all time. But I just thought there's a little bit of a reading you could throw in the end there.
Maybe.
That,
Yeah, I see your point there. So, he has confessed something.
He definitely walks towards the light at the end.
Yeah, it's
that sort of opaque door, and you don't know what's beyond it, and then he picks... Yeah, well...
Okay. But any of these... is Bad Lieutenant, that Harvey Keitel film, that's a kind of Christian redemption thing, isn't it,
maybe.
a little bit?
Yeah, similar themes.
But if you've got somebody who's done something bad and then they confess and they want to be absolved of this guilt, is that necessarily Christian? Isn't that just, I've done something bad, I feel like I should own up?
Well, you don't have to call it Christian.
Well, in fact, he gave himself to save her, didn't he? So it feeds into your idea, Roly.
Yeah,
because he confessed, he's finished then, it's obvious he's not going to ever...
Good point.
He's going to be jailed,
and
so he gave himself, and then he goes into. I'm starting to move in Roly's direction. Actually, that's brilliant.
Please,
I wish I'd thought of that.
Oh, please, Leigh, please.
We need to find out if the director is hardcore Christian or subconscious Christian,
or Satan worshipper or something like this. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, and you think this is why I don't like it much?
Possibly.
Maybe you're right. Maybe subconsciously. Thank you for analysing me. Maybe that's it. I just thought it was I liked it. I mean, they were good. You're right. When he's telling the kid, go into the room, I'm thinking, oh, why did he tell her that? And then later, oh, there's something wrong in that room. It's kind of, you want to know, oh, do I want to see this? Maybe not. It's almost a horror film.
Yeah.
In your mind.
It is. It's so horrific. Like,
They were good parts. That sort of, that part, a few of the other points where you notice things are not what they seem until the penny drops, and then, oh, really? That's right.
This is, without giving it away, this is almost the worst thing you could imagine.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Having to do as a police officer or something.
Yes, or as a parent even.
Yeah. Which is no doubt why he was traumatised in his day job.
Yeah, okay.
And the broken finger was a nice, subtle little thing. The bandage, the splintered finger. That was. I didn't
even notice that. What do you mean?
He's on the beat. He's a tough cop on the beat. He's used to dealing. He knows where the red light district is.
Yes.
And he sees nasty things like the main reveal.
Then on that, do you think...
he's a traumatised guy.
Do you think, and maybe this is just because he's Danish, do you think he looked a bit clean cut for that role?
Yes.
I mean, I thought maybe he's that kind of hard nugget. He should be a bit more...
He's a good-looking maverick.
Wasn't he?
He looked like a cop, though.
Yeah, he did, with the short back and sides and stuff, yeah.
As to what his past might be, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But I like the way the little hints dished out, where, it didn't feel like it was being done just for the, it didn't feel too obviously done the way they explained that his girlfriend or wife had left him. And, he's no longer living.
Yeah, I like that.
It's just an offhand thing in a conversation where somebody else says, you guys, and he hangs up before he says... She's not there.
A little bit of that drip feed of that information about him is what I liked. I thought, we got to know more soon. Oh, yeah, now we're knowing a little bit more. Now a little bit more is coming in. So, yeah, it was good. It's a fine balance of two storylines happening pretty much at the same time. Yeah,
I'd be very curious to see what this guy does next.
Yeah.
Director-wise.
Yep. Yes, well, maybe he'll be into blockbuster territory very soon. I know that'll make you happy, Leigh.
It'll be grieving. What about the realism? Because that's something that always gets me. If something's not realistic at all, it does take... I do try and push that away and see, but the other room was obviously so the movie could carry on uninterrupted. There was a woman initially in the lit room coming around and berating him because he was on his phone.
Yeah.
And then he... wasn't berated after that. They just left him. He smashed the computer. Yeah. But no one said anything about that.
Okay.
Yeah. Because he was off work by that point, wasn't he?
Yeah, but he still smashed the shit out of a room, and people aren't going to come in and go...
So you've got to suspend
you're right, mate.
disbelief to some degree. But most movies, my ideal movie is one where you don't have to suspend belief. That doesn't... If you can suspend it, that's fine and still enjoy it. But that does impinge slightly, I think, for me.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only thing you can do with that is watch CCTV, I reckon. Pretty much. Even documentaries have to make decisions, but that's tough.
That's true.
Yeah.
So at least there wasn't someone in a superhero suit.
So, speaking of next, Captain Marvel. Do you want to come for that one, Leigh?
I thought maybe we should do Leaving Neverland.
Oh, man. I don't think I could watch that. No, that'd be... This is the Michael Jackson doco you're talking about. Not into that. I don't want to know about it. I don't want to know. I don't like
It's actually a really good...
Have you seen it already?
Doco, yeah.
Yeah, have you? Okay. Well, we'll talk about that another time. Yeah.
Definitely not one for right now.
Not one for the pod, I don't reckon. All right, guys. Well, thanks, Leigh. Thanks very much for joining us.
No worries.
No worries.
Thank you.
Roly, see you next time.
Shady, see you then.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.